height to be. And they ended up being so many amazing things in a relationship. And you had an amazing time with them and chemistry and whatever. The chances at that point of you walking away because they're not
what? Ay, wala. Where was it?
quite the right height or the height that you'd predetermined was important, it's almost never going to happen. Or I would argue, if it does happen, then you've got to start looking inward and saying, okay, what's happening with me that I am treating my love life like a thing to be optimized?
I am not picky. I just don't find the right man for me yet, and I am not the right person yet for the person. I guess like the people that I'm meeting. Kasi if we are meant to be, then we should work it out. But and no one should let go. That's the thing. That if you are meant for someone, it should be both ways. That both are working it out to stay in the relationship, or to give both of you a chance to be in a relationship. But if it's not just working when there's just some things that I don't know. It just work for people that are already in their prime life or comfortable enough to be in a relationship and work it out. Like right now, what I'm just inside the house. I don't want to go out, and people should meet me here. I mean, a person should meet me in my state. So the only safest way to be in a dating, still be dating, is through the apps. And I don't think that's a bad thing, though. Right?
Instead of finding someone who is an amazing partner.
The height, it matters to me. Like, it matters. Especially if, like, the initial attraction. I'm mostly attracted to taller guys, and I'm being a judgmental asshole. Arsehole with that in that area, especially if I don't have the connection yet, or I am not talking to that person yet. Then we just have to find the common ground, any common ground that we can connect to.
If I find a fantastic partner, what's going on with me that I am optimizing in this way that I'm still telling myself it's not quite right because they don't have this thing or that thing?
Yeah, I almost think you're not looking for the mistake is to think you're looking for a perfect person.
I am not looking for a perfect person. I am looking for the one that is suitable for me and that I'll be suitable for him.
Looking for an amazing fit. Someone that fits you really well, that fits the pieces of your jigsaw really well. And that's a very different thing.
What to do? You should try
it's
somehow.
Not about the partner you choose, but the partnership you build.
Yep.
Which I think is extraordinarily important. Now, I don't think that you can just choose any partner. We have to choose a partner with the right stuff and then look at the partnership we're building with them and see if the partnership is one that is meeting our needs, if the partnership is one that can make us happy. But that's a very different thing from spending our whole lives optimizing in terms of the partner. It says here in this article, Steve, maybe it's not that helpful to search for a partner who looks good on paper, but it is helpful once dating someone to look for early signs that the relationship is turning out to be healthy and supportive.
True. It has to be healthy and supportive. Anyone that supports you, your dreams, your growth, and the the business, that you can work it out together. Because that's the point. What's the point of being in a relationship when you're not supporting each other?
That, I think, is a real
Acceptance.
shift
Accepting
away
yung the
from
person that can accept
whether
you.
someone meets all of the criteria.
It's not all the criteria. It's like showing up yourself, and then if I am showing up myself, my mess, my background, whatever I have and I do not have, and then he accepts me as I am. That's a safe place. That's a safe person to be with, and it's not about comfort though, but it's about not being trying to fit into a person if that's not what he likes as well. So we like to be accepted. That's why if that person, you can only tolerate what you deserve. You can only tolerate what you think you deserve. So if we cannot tolerate their behavior, like for myself, before I was actually not into a man that is smoking, as in like smoking hard, and you know that, right? I am not into those kinds of men. And then, as long as he is willing to change that, there was that person that is actually smoking like the real cigarette, but then he made adjustment and do it with a vape, and it's in the communicating part, or the communication, communication what you need and not, because it's it's actually the reason why I do not want a man who is smoking too much, because it's gonna end his life first. Of course, I know that will lead him to ending his life, but when I also realize that it's the same as drinking coffee, drinking caffeine, and smoking, then I begin to be relaxed or lenient in that part. But however, I communicated that it's not gonna help him in the long run. And also, it tastes bad, or it smells awful when you're kissing someone and they smell like smoke. And that's the thing. So I requested not to do it. And he did. He changed it into a vape, and with some vanilla and all that. Other types of smoke. So people do smoke when they're actually stressed out. So that person was in the state of still realizing which one is the best for him. Is it in smoking or not smoking at all, and all that. So that's it's in the way you communicate your need that is also a big factor in selecting the person that you think that is the right fit for you. Not in all areas, it's in the area of working it out. That's the thing.
We thought we wanted, which some of which are hangovers from when we were young and had this
Everything changes.
shopping list of unimportant things that
I don't
someone
have a
had to
shopping
do,
list.
and we never actually revisited that list to see how many of them were important. Now, I do
What's important? So I wanted to go. I never left Philippines because I never had that desire to go out, because that the first thing, or the first country that I wanted to visit, or the first place I wanted to visit, is Paris, and have a date with a man that I love, put on the white shirt he's using, or that long sleeve is using, and all that, and then have a breakfast in bed, in a cruise ship, or in a yacht. These are dreams or goals that are not yet fulfilled. So somehow Anything can change. Just that we have to live life according to our own purpose. And the evolution is actually the growing part is the best thing. Right, 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 right. I look so ugly today.
Think that the person we come across in life that is going to make us happy has to be our version of special, or a version of special that really appeals to us. But the idea that we are going to objectively optimize to the point where the decision is just made for us by fate or feeling or destiny or whatever you want to call it is a really, really destructive notion.
What?
Because it removes agency from us as people. Agency is in decision making, whether it's a person or a career or a place you want to live. Agency is saying, I have a role to play in choosing something and making it spectacular.
Right.
My job is not to travel the world and then when I just feel this is the place I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life, I settle there. Removes any agency from us. And it's making a decision. I think this is a very missed point in so many things, and I'm not the first one to say it. But making a decision, exercising that agency, is something that imbues a situation with meaning. That you chose that thing, that career, that place to live, that person, and then decided to go all in on it, there's beauty in that. That is the thing that imbues it with so much meaning. But so many people go through life waiting for life to give them meaning.
I put meaning to my
I need
own
to find
life.
a career that gives me purpose. I need to find the place to live that just speaks to me, that is my place, that makes me feel good. I need to find the person that gives my life meaning. But that's to be a kind of a victim to meaning instead of choosing meaning. And what could be more meaningful in a world where we could have so many potential partners? What could be more meaningful than saying, I'm choosing to build a story with this person? This is the story I choose.
Yeah.
And I think that all the investment that comes afterwards, all of the commitment that comes afterwards, comes as a result of deciding that you're going to make that story really important. That commitment is the inevitable result of deciding the meaning of a story, as opposed to the result of something coming to you preordained. Life doesn't, unfortunately, I just don't think life gets to be that simple. You can be so many different things in life. You could be a fisherman, you could be an accountant, you could be a lawyer, you could be a speaker, you could be a writer, you could be so many different things. I don't think life gets to be as simple as something just chooses you. We go through life and we exercise agency. And the
agency and urgency. What's urgent? Agency and urgency. My point of view, it's actually to live your life and exhaust all your options, not to the point of exhausting yourself, but actually to finding yourself even more. And yes, deciding is actually one great factor why you will not feel like a victim in any certain area. Like, for example, I came over here and I decided also to help and to work on, but then I realized that yes, I already had that guts or that notion or that feeling that there is something wrong that's gonna happen, but I shrug it off and then I focused more on the area of the possibility that this can work, me staying here, and then it did not. So I can finally say that in my end, maybe that's not working for you, but to me it does. Like finding your balance and finding the right place for you is just as important as um, deciding to be with the person who decided to be with you as well. So it has to go both ways. Has to go both ways. It just have to go both ways, not just me, not just him or whoever that him is. It has to be our decision, both our decision.
For a partner is no different. At a certain point, we stop. And it's not that we
So what are
stop
you
and we
doing
say-
today? Is that like for the
it's not that we
growth,
stop
the
on
growing
somebody
thing?
and we say, this is good enough. It's that we stop on somebody and we say, I'm going to make this great. We're very powerful
Yep.
and we have the ability to make things great
Yep.
in life. We all have our own magic. We all have our own ability to make things great, but we have to exercise that ability. It doesn't mean that it can be with anyone. You still have to find someone who has a similar attitude towards making a relationship great, or will be the one doing all the work, and that doesn't work. We still need to find someone with whom we have some chemistry. Doesn't need to be the greatest chemistry of all time.
Just
Someone
being
you have
attracted.
chemistry that makes it a romantic relationship, or you have a friendship. And it still needs to be someone who has an outlook on life or values that synergize with your own. It doesn't have to be all the same, but they have to be able to be compatible with your own. But the pool of people that describes is far greater than the scarcity that people imagine is the case when they think of trying to find their ideal partner. And I actually fundamentally believe
Yeah, what is there scarcity? There's a lot of options. Yep. There's a lot of options that you can choose from. It's just that if you're in the right place or in the right time and in the right mindset, that makes it even easier. But to find the right person for you, who's gonna click and who will be willing to work things out. But it doesn't happen that way, like that thing. To some it does. And at some point, yes, it works for people like the it's actually the degree of the difference is in the degree of the willingness to work things out, both your end and his end or her end or whoever.
that when we develop a healthy relationship with ourselves and our own flaws,
Today Sunday
and
you
when
have
we
video.
find ourselves
Yesterday
ready
you also
for a
have.
real relationship, more people people become right. Because I do think that when we constantly almost applaud the fact that I'm just too picky. My problem is I'm too picky.
I am not picky.
It's kind of, if we're not careful, it becomes another way of saying, I'm kind of a judgmental asshole. And it's done under the righteous label of, I'm too picky. And I think that we've all been through those phases where we're incredibly judgmental of people. And everyone feels wrong for us because we're so judgmental. Everyone loves saying, when you raise your standards in life and when you grow and when you read and when you do self-development and when you do all of these things, your pool of people shrinks and it's hard to meet someone who's on your level. That's a really easy thing to say. I've even said that in the past. I think it's a bit of a cop-out because I actually think the more open you become as a human being, the more you accept yourself and your own flaws and your own history and your own weaknesses and don't see certain things with shame and disgust. When you are disgusted by yourself and the things that you've done or you are, then you start looking at other people with less disgust, with less contempt, with more openness, with more love.
True.
You start actually...
True. We give them an area to improve and to grow. A room to improve and a room to grow. We begin to understand that no one is really a perfect package. All of us are trying to heal. All of us are moving on from past traumas. All of us wanted to be good persons. We don't want to be toxic. We always want to bring peace in the relationship. Some just wanted to do the opposite, but most of people really desire to be of value to anyone they meet.
Seeing more good in other people. When you accept yourself more, it's hard not to accept other people more. And so when we become really ready,
I'm just closing my doors to those people that I am just closing my doors to people that already had the chances, like a million times of chances. Mostly that's from relatives that or some part of the families that are actually...
What's up, everybody? I hope you enjoy.
Part of, they already took all your energy. So you get broken every time they treat you this way, and yet you allow them to. So right now, I am more on being open to more strangers, and filtering the friendships, relatives, family members, saying no to those. It takes courage as well to say no to people that are actually good for you, because there is you already have prior commitments. So commitments. I am not committed to anyone, right? Am I? I am not, because I am not 100% committed to someone right now, because they did not give me the commitment that I am asking for as well. That's it. You get what you expect. You get what you give. You get what you give. That's it. What do you have? I want to eat.
Enjoyed the episode today taken from
Why do you
the
have
Love Life podcast. I wanted to let you know that
What do you
the
have a
things that I
podcast
was
today?
speaking about in terms of self-acceptance and how that changes the way that we approach our love lives, it changes the way that we approach other people, is a
Just
real
don't get
muscle
married.
that we can work on. If you have struggled in your life to
I
love
look ugly
yourself,
today.
if you've struggled to like yourself, if the idea of loving yourself isn't even on your radar because you're struggling
I
to
love
like
who I
yourself
am.
in general, if you continuously beat yourself up over things that you do wrong or things you say wrong or mistakes you believe you've made in your past that to this day you regret and you continuously castigate yourself for, these are things that will affect everything in your life because our relationship with ourselves shapes everything. Our happiness, our sense of peace, how we approach life in general, our confidence, our personal power at work, in love. If you want to learn how to build that self-acceptance and self-love
What?
muscle, that is the deep work that I do with people on my
I don't want you to
virtual
work on
retreat.
me. I'm going to
It's
work on
3
myself.
days of coaching immersion, and this is a very timely announcement because it is coming up very, very soon in March from the 18th to the 20th. If you have not booked your call yet to talk to one of my team, please go and do that now. They'll tell you all about the program. They'll talk to you about your goals, what you're trying to achieve right now, what's holding you back.
What's holding me
And
back?
they'll help you understand how.
What's holding me back? There are just some things that I need to focus on more than this. But we can be friends. There's a lot of options to talk to you, like in Instagram. I know Barbie is actually, or your team is the one that is handling your personal account. I mean, yeah, it's not personal at all, it's business, the one that you have. I know. And come over to the Philippines, and Joanna and I are friends, so we can be friends too. Friends of friends, why not? Friends again.
The program could help. I hope to see you there. Please go to mhvirtualretreat.com to learn more, find out all about the program. And I sincerely hope that we get to spend 3 whole days.
Come over to the Philippines again.
To the 20th of March.
Nag-apply kaya ako kay Loris Enterprises. Loris Enterprises, I wanted to apply for Joanna. Hey, Joanna. Nice episode. Great episode. This mindset keeps you single. Yes. What? Is being single a bad thing? Huh? Well, I'm not saying that I don't want to be in a relationship. I wanted to, but I just wanted to be sure that the relationship I'm going to be with will be all out as well. Like, he's going to be that he can give me the same commitment I can offer. That's it. Kaya mo? Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you? Exciting life ahead of us. See you around. Come on over. Come on over. Just single. Not committed to anyone. I'm just entertaining people that wants to talk to me and all that. Let's be friends and all that. But I don't want to get married yet. Not now. The end of the year, maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. Depends on the kind of person or the kind of man that I'll be invested in, and he investing on me, what he is showing for me, showing up for me. himself, his willingness to work things out with me. That's it. That's the requirement.